everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Rambling Through Everyday Life with Fran and Angela. My name is Fran, and I am one of the co-hosts for this podcast. You guys, we hope that with each and every episode, you find us talking about Jesus in our everyday lives, while also learning, being challenged, growing together, loving and laughing about what makes up our everyday lives. Thank you, Jesus, for being right there in the middle of it all with us. Okay, in this week's show, typical rambling fashion, you guys, we're just going to get caught up on a few things going on in our life, and then we hit the spiritual things that are floating around in our mind and the conversations that we've had regarding them. We love you guys so much. Sit back and enjoy the conversation. Okay, well, happy new week, everybody. Here we are. How's it going?
Well, as I told you last night, I might need all three services today to worship after some things that I thought last night about football. But here we are, Fran.
Man alive. I was shocked at how terrible Tennessee looked.
It was bad.
They looked terrible.
And my son's a Alabama fan. Well, we do know why. Our friends from Birmingham thought it would be cute when he was little to say, hey, walk up to your mom and say roll tide and see what happens to her face. And at 4 years old for a boy, that's a fun reaction.
Yeah.
So he became, and then Tennessee couldn't win for years and years. So I tell him he's not allowed to be at home anytime they play each other. So he had to leave, which was good because he had plans. But then I learned somewhere, probably in the first quarter, I just picked up my laptop. I thought, I've got to do anything else but really watch this game. So I realized, we have a trip. I'm taking Cole and his girlfriend Oakland on a trip when Carl goes on a hunting trip in November. Whenever Carl leaves, I take that as a sign that I should leave. And my whole goal was to fly from Jackson to Atlanta and then Atlanta to where we're going next. Well, I did not realize until last night that Wednesday is the one day that they don't do that. So I already had all the other flights booked and went to book that little part of the flight and couldn't do it. But I was not stressed. I was excited because that gave my brain something to do in the middle of that game. So I got all that worked out. And also, I made the Wendy's copycat recipe of chili.
Okay.
Do you like Wendy's chili? Did we talk about that on the podcast?
Well, I don't know if we've talked about it here, but we've talked about it before.
I love their chili. And I just thought, you know what? That's the chili I want. I want a chili dog during the football game.
Regardless of how the football game is going.
Yes. This was planned out a day in advance. So I still had an appetite. I ate it pregame while I still had an appetite.
Yeah.
And was not affected by anything happening on the field. So I can share that in stories, but it's so easy and it's so good. So
well, here's what I need people to know. When it comes to a big game like this yesterday, I really do not have a dog in the hunt. And so Chip asked me last night, he said, who are you rooting for? I'm about to tick some people off, and I understand this, okay? And I don't even know where this comes from because I didn't grow up in Tennessee. I'm not a Tennessee fan. I grew up an Arkansas fan.
Woo pig.
Yeah, and they're so terrible right now and just going through a whole lot of stuff. But so I don't have a dog in this particular third Saturday of October thing. I think it's fun to watch. I think it's fun to listen to people because I'm that way too with things. I mean, I so get it. I'm so competitive and become so obnoxious about some things, but this particular game ain't it. And so when Chip asked me, who are you rooting for? And I was like, okay, here's my not complicated, it's just layered answer. Here's my layered answer. I want this new Alabama coach to do well.
I don't disagree with that, except for the third Saturday in October.
I know, because I just think, good gosh, trying to walk in Nick Saban's shoes has to be the most daunting thing he's ever going to do in his entire life. And who wants to be the one that blows up the program that somebody has just, done remarkable, incredible, historic things with? So I want him to do well. Their quarterback is from our neck of the woods. Woods. He is a darling young man. What's his name? Ty
Simpson. And his daddy coached at Martin.
Yes.
And his brother's at Martin.
Yes.
Probably about to transfer to Alabama.
Westview High School family in Martin, Tennessee. Like, I just love that small town success, and like, look at them now, and they seem to be really good people. Lots of people from our area know them. And then, like, I have this weird thing with Tennessee. Like, sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't like them. I'm mad at them currently because it looks like the baseball coach is going to be the coach of the San Francisco Giants, and that is just the most bizarre transition to me.
But what an opportunity!
What an opportunity! But coaching grown men is not coaching these college kids. And is it all about the money?
I don't think he'll be as happy as...
What a cultural change this is going to be for him. So
it's about to be business and not heart.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
It's just going to change. And so sometimes I think, Tennessee, you're too arrogant. Sit down, be quiet.
But see, we've earned that right because we had 10 years of horrible.
I know. So I didn't really care who won. I wanted it to be a good game.
Yeah. Well, it was not.
But there was a point that I was like, no, this is no longer a good game anymore.
No, it was not.
And Tennessee just didn't show up to play.
No, they didn't. And our sweet little quarterback had an injury he was dealing with. And Anyway,
blah, blah, blah. Game's over.
I will say, so yesterday I drove to Nashville for my aunt's celebration of life, and she was a huge Alabama fan, and we always sent, funny things back and forth. And her daughter, really big Alabama fan. Her best friend, really big Tennessee fan. And yesterday at the celebration of life, her best friend said, I'm only saying this once. But she screamed at the top of her lungs in the chapel on the microphone, Roll Tide. And we all just went, oh my goodness, I can't believe you said that. And I texted my cousin last night because it was such a hard day for her. And I said, if there's any consolation, I'm happy for you.
That's right.
That they won this ball game.
That's right.
But yeah, anyway.
Good times, everyone.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Yay, football. And it feels like fall.
Good gosh, y'all. It's been so dang hot for so long.
And now it is fall.
Well, the wind is just a whipping today.
It's whipping. And I noticed driving to Nashville yesterday, the colors in the trees are really, really starting to get
Are
pretty.
they? I just feel like everything's still very green.
Well, I noticed some things yesterday. Maybe it was just one or two trees. I don't know. But I saw a few. And I thought,
I see a leaf. I see a red leaf
that appears to be red. Or maybe it was brown because there's been no rain. Who knows? But I'm telling us that it is fall. We're declaring it.
It is fall, everybody. I mean, good grief. I said to somebody at church, I was like, it is, it's all but November 1st. Oh my God, time slow.
What in the world?
The heck down.
What in the world? Carl Snyder has a birthday Thursday.
Love it. Happy birthday, Carl. Okay, let's really quick. I don't want to talk a ton of time about my fall break trip.
We're talking about it.
No,
though.
I don't want to.
I want to hear about the new things, though. The train.
I'll have that over and done in 45 seconds because there's other things I'd rather us talk about.
Okay. But there are people listening who love to know what trips they should be taking.
Well, I'm such an advocate for Chicago. We've already talked about Chicago. We're not talking about that again. Go listen to the previous episode.
But people may not know where you went.
Well, I went to New York, but I love Chicago so much. And the time of year to go to Chicago is crucial. So if you're thinking now, I need to plan a trip. No, don't go in the wintertime. You need to go in the fall. You need to go late summer or fall. I think spring for them is just can drag out, and it takes forever for their weather to turn around in the summer. So don't plan on a spring trip. But you really need to think about a girls' trip, mother-daughter thing. I love Chicago. I love it. But from there, we went to New York, and we just never know. We never know what we're doing. We stayed. I highly recommend staying at the Westin near Grand Central Station. It was a phenomenal hotel, great location.
We did not go to Grand Central Station.
Well, listen, you can't do it all. There's 9 bazillion things to do. And Grand Central Station is... It's very similar to Penn Station, but not. It's so beautiful. It's absolutely, absolutely beautiful. But anyway, that's where we stayed. That's that part of town. But anyway, we decided a couple of things. We went to a Knicks game. Madison Square Garden. We did that. That's super fun. For preseason, I was like, this place is packed. Oh my God. These people do not play around with their sports in New York.
Did they play each other or did they play
Oh,
a team?
no. Another team. Yeah, they're playing another team. And so it was just packed. And I was like, okay. But that was a lot of fun. And then the other thing that we decided to do, because we've been so many times, I don't think this would be great if you haven't been to New York a lot of times, because there's so many different things to see in New York that's kind of why you're there and that's what you want to do. But because we have been a lot, we decided to, at Penn Station is essentially underneath Madison Square Garden, and it is subways. It's a subway stop. It's an Amtrak station, and it's the Long Island Railroad. So all of those things are functioning out of this one thing called Penn Station. And so we decided to take a Long Island Railroad, take that train somewhere, some town we were going to choose on Long Island. So you're not on Manhattan anymore. You are over on Long Island. And so the Hamptons are on Long Island. So if you were looking at the island, the Hamptons are north. They're the north part of that island, but that's a 3-hour train ride one way. And I'm like, not doing that. So we chose this adorable little tiny town, 7,000 people, called Oyster Bay. Oyster Bay, Long Island. And it was adorable. Clearly, they're known for oyster fishing. What is that even called?
Yeah. Harvesting, fishing,
catching oysters.
I love oysters.
Oh, man. Beautiful homes in this little bay. Everything is locally owned. There ain't a chain, nothing in this little town. We had the best little lunch. It was just phenomenal. I just could not get over it. But what was also so fun is this train just stops all these little towns along the way. And you're just like, again, you just get so enamored with and caught up with the city, with Manhattan, that you forget, like, there's just whole other things out there. And it was just precious. I just loved it. We drove through a town that had the most beautiful golf course, and the clubhouse looked like it was some bazillion, $trillion old mansion sitting on this golf course. It was just gorgeous. And I was like, well, what's happening in this town? What do you people do? Why is there so much money here? It was so fun. So we spent a good, not a whole day, but maybe 3/4 of a day doing something like that. And that was completely fun and different. But anyway, New York, I just cannot recommend the city enough. I can't say enough. If you've been maybe more than 2 or 3 times and you're looking for something different to do, I'm going to say spend time in the neighborhoods. Go to the west side of the city and spend time in the West Village. Anywhere over on the west side of the city is so much fun for me. I loved it.
I love that you've been multiple times and you've never had the same trip.
Never.
And there's still more things to do than things you've already done.
We explored a whole new part of Central Park. If you've ever been to the city or seen a map of Manhattan, you know how big Central Park is. So normally what we do is we enter in Central Park from like where the Plaza Hotel is, and then kind of venture up midway and then cut over and exit on the east side and walk through or eat or whatever on the east side of the city. But this time we didn't do that. Somehow we entered more of the middle of Central Park and then went to the most northern point. There was a castle out there.
What?
There was all this stuff out there. I was like, well, yeah. See, just go explore and do something different. Just because you think you've been somewhere. No, there's other places to visit and see.
What a great break.
Yeah, it was a great break.
You needed a brain break. You needed fun time and adventure with Clay.
Yeah. So anyway, yay.
We tried something new. If you're listening, you've still got a couple of weeks to do this. We took the whole family to zombie paintball. And I called ahead to make sure that it was not scary, mostly for Atlas, but also mostly for me.
Heck yeah.
I'm a big chicken.
Yeah.
But it is not scary at all. It was so much fun. You ride this little hayride through the fields, They asked us if we wanted 100, 200, or 300 paintballs.
I would have no idea.
Well, you know how extra I am. I was like, everybody gets 300. We're going to blast the zombies.
Golly, Bill.
And Atlas, they asked me, they said, okay, if y'all run out, do you want me to refill his or is he cut off? And I was like, you let him have whatever he wants.
That's right.
Atlas is the only one who ran out. So he really shot everything up
That's
really
awesome.
good. But it was so cute because and it was a beautiful starry night. I could have just ridden around in the cornfields on the hayride, but the guns are mounted to this little trailer. And there's chairs. There's like 12 seats, and you ride through, and the workers are on the trailer with you, and they say, "Okay, get ready. Here comes a live scene." And it was all this glow in the dark paint, like a tire swing and a little shed, and you could shoot at all these targets.
What kind of property are we talking? Is this on somebody's farm?
Yeah, they had asked us years ago if we would be interested, and we had a little conversation. Great people that run it, but yeah, it's just their farm. Just in the middle of it's off Bell's Highway. It's not real far from y'all.
Okay.
But
for all you locals, go check it out.
Check out Zombie Paintball. But then you have I think 5 different scenes with live people. And at first I couldn't tell, is this really a person? They're in all the gear, but they also they're just dancing back and forth, and you're just literally pounding them with these paintballs. There was something therapeutic about that. But anyway, it was a lot of fun for everybody. And you go through security, which I thought was, I'm always happy to go through security, but I thought there's a haunted house side of it. And I thought, how many people get so scared that they might instinctively stab somebody?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Y'all, please no. Please let's not be living in that day and time. Oh my God.
So anyway, we went through security, and I had to take off my Apple Watch because it beeped. And because it was dark, I forgot to grab it. I grabbed my purse and my phone, got home, realized I didn't have my watch. My whole family was like, oh, of course you did that. It's gone. Don't even expect that it's still there. It was still there.
Well.
And these people met me the next day and gave me my watch back. Just, I love shopping local.
Yeah, small town.
Local.
Hey, I read something this morning. I'm about to make you anxious for a half a second.
Goodness. Here we go.
Here is my political statement for the day. Are y'all ready for my political statement of the day? Thinking about traveling, not that you were just talking about traveling, but just like the holidays coming up and all this kind of stuff. Y'all, I saw that today as we record, it is October the 19th. So this is Sunday, October the 19th. This is releasing here soon. TSA is about to become bonkers because of this government shutdown.
I fly again on November 19th.
I pray to the dear Lord. Listen, government people, listen to me. Listen to me. I need y'all to grow up, and I need you to mature, and I need you to figure out a way to get along and do the right thing. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what y'all
It shouldn't be that hard.
No, well, it shouldn't be.
Just stick with the essentials and go on. Stop
just
manipulating.
Figure it out.
It's not that hard.
Figure it out.
And this is what drives me nuts. They still get their paycheck.
Oh, no.
The lawmakers should not get a paycheck. If my sister's not getting a paycheck.
Yes.
And my aunt's not getting a paycheck.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, it makes me mad, but it made me nervous. I was like, oh, flying is about to be affected.
Well, because I'm selfish and I'm flying next month. Everybody pray real quick. But
okay, anyway.
If no other purpose than for me and my trip.
There's our political segment. Done. Moving on.
Also, because my sweet aunt that passed just got me thinking, how do we want to be remembered? And we got to wear yesterday to her Celebration of Life rock concert T-shirts. I just want y'all to imagine that, because the land that I live in is so, estate planning and talking about what comes next when you're not here. And just to truly be part of a service that was so personal and fun and reflected her personality.
Yeah.
But it did get me thinking, how, just making memories and going on trips, and what we want our life to matter, and what do we want it to look like? How do we want to be remembered? And also, this is National Estate Planning Awareness Week.
Oh, okay. Riveting.
So, isn't that riveting? And I have a new website launching.
Yeah. It will have launched.
Yeah.
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 So what is the new website?
AngelaSnyderLaw.com.
And spell Snyder. Okay.
SNIDER.
No Y.
This has been a long time coming behind the scenes. Lots of prayers and what am I doing with my life? And what am I doing with my career? And going from areas of law that I had done for 20 years to am I able to just do what I would love to do and do this exclusively? And the Lord has been so faithful. So
Absolutely. That's what he does. That's who he is. We can do hard things.
Mm-hmm. Pray for the wisdom and the discernment and the favor, and he'll make it clear.
Yeah. Well, and to have the courage to make a change or do something different, because you can have a tendency, the older you get, just to be complacent and keep doing what you're doing. But to be open to a fresh new work of the Lord is a whole nother conversation for another day. But I think that kind of naturally starts to happen the older you get, because you just start being super reflective and considering, who am I and what am I doing and what do I want to do that I'm not doing? And that's on any level.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be career level.
No.
It can just be
everything in life.
Yeah, just anything like, I need to eat better.
Or even in my closet. Are these clothes suiting the 50-year-old me?
Right.
Or do I need to finally let this go?
Right.
There's so many ways we can look at that.
Yeah. So I just think it's super exciting. Yay, go Angela.
I keep having to remind myself, it's not that I'm failing at this.
No,
it's just
it's
something
new.
Because
Yes.
I've gone from being on autopilot, being really, really good at my job, to having days where I'm anxious going, okay, I can't just jump into this and excel at it without a whole lot of brain power and effort and then just it's a lot.
It's a lot, but we can do hard things, people.
We can do hard things.
Okay, so I want y'all to I want to talk about I want to talk really quickly about how I screwed up my paper that I had to turn in.
For your last class?
For my last class. So that ended right before fall break. I literally had to work on it in a hotel lobby in Chicago because you're incredible and you too can do hard things. Well, I was running out of time because it wasn't due that day, but I needed to get it done. But what screwed me up, y'all, and anybody that has a student or you work in education or you even kind of know what I'm remotely talking about, you're going to find this so crazy. Dr. Dub, you're going to get a really good kick out of this. So our final paper was 8 to 12 pages long. Did I tell you this?
No.
Okay. It was 8 to 12 pages long. We've been writing it all 8 weeks, okay? So really, essentially, all I had to do at the end was carefully choose out of what was already written and put it together in a way that I was still answering this question that was the final paper. Okay, so come to find out, I did not know how to format my paper correctly.
And didn't you learn this the day before you left town?
Yeah, the day before.
The plan was to turn it in, leave town, turned in early, move on.
Yes, and be just like, okay, bye-bye. So the day before I'm leaving to go out of town, this would have been on Tuesday. So I'm telling someone at work that has got their PhD, like they've been there, done that, they have done all the things. And I just said, I'm just not sure if I've got this formatted right, because formatting a paper is one thing. Formatting a paper that has biblical text and citations and stuff is just a different thing. And so I didn't know how to do it, apparently. And so this coworker says, hey, if you take the instructions plus the document itself, put it in ChatGPT, it will correct your format for you.
That's mind-blowing to me, first of all.
So I just copied and pasted the formatting instructions, uploaded what I thought was my final paper that was at like 11 pages. Maybe it was supposed to be 8 to 12. Y'all, that sucker spit that paper out and it was 17 pages long.
And Fran died.
I died. And so I had to cut 5 pages. 5 whole pages.
That's some serious editing.
So that has nothing to do with Old Testament. That just has to do with, like, you could just be learning how to do something at work that is just a new procedure or new process. It's okay if you screw it up. Okay, so this go around, so that class is over and done. This go around, I am in theology. I want to just read some things to you that I jotted down from something that I read, okay? Because I'm not going to even put Angela on the spot and say, Angela, what do you think theology is? Give me some examples of theology. Let's talk about theology. I'm not going to do that to her. But this is just some things that I have written down that I want you all.
I know that we are all theologians because Jen Wilkin and also Dr. Dubb said so.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so theology can mean studying the Old Testament, the New Testament, church history, evangelism, mission, systematic theology, philosophy of religion, ethics, preaching, education, pastoral ministry, counseling. Okay, so we got all that theology.
And this is a 6-week class?
This is an 8-week class.
Okay. You're going to need those extra 2 weeks.
Yes. So then I wrote down a narrow sense of the word can mean referring to those endeavors that treat the specifically doctrinal character of the Christian faith. This would be biblical theology, historical theology, systematic theology, philosophical theology. So we kind of took all that and summed it up into there. So systematic theology, that's one that we kind of tend to we'll hear people throw that around.
I have that book, the Gruden book.
Yeah,
bookshelf.
Systematic theology. So out of that, we can study various doctrines such as bibliology, anthropology, Christology, the doctrine of God. Yeah, I don't even know what the Sam heck I'm talking about.
And Fran works a full-time job and then comes home with a tired brain after being kind to herself and going to the gym for a walk. And then when my brain is done and I'm taking 3 naps on the couch before bedtime, Fran is reading words like
I don't even know what I just said. That's the thing. Okay, so here's the definition of theology. Theology is a Christian context. It's a discipline of study that seeks to understand the God revealed in the Bible and to provide a Christian understanding of reality. It seeks to understand God's creation, particularly human beings and their condition, and God's redemptive work in relation to humankind. Biblical, historical, and philosophical theology provide insights and understandings that help lead toward a coherent whole. Theology has practical value in providing guidance for the Christian life and ministry. Theology is biblical, it's systematic, it's relating to issues of culture and learning, it's contemporary, it's practical. But you just kind of go, "Gah, that just sounds like a lot."
Because it is. But, in one of our Voxers,
what am I even doing?
We have early morning, midday, and late night pep talks and therapy sessions on Voxer. And one of those days, the Daily Bible app was about dependence and how we are created. God could have made us automatically capable to do everything. He specifically looked at us and said, "You're going to be so needy and dependent on me. And if you feel like you cannot do a single thing, congratulations. That's what you were designed for, because otherwise you forget to come to me for everything."
Right.
So you and I talked about that, and I quoted you, and you were like, "I won't remember what I said." So I wrote this down. This is quoting Fran to Fran. Fran said that morning, "My prayer life and dependence on the Lord are increasing exponentially."
Yeah.
And isn't that the goal? For whatever you're facing as you're listening, it may not be changing areas of the law, or it may not be going back to get your master's. It's probably not. But everybody listening is in some kind of season of, what do I want in life? What is my calling and purpose? What do I need to step into and be brave and do that's different and scary and hard? And if you feel like you can't do it on your own, congratulations.
Yeah. It's just so scary. I don't even know what I just read. And so when I'm reading it, I'm literally like, Lord, hello, you're going to have to help
all that
me.
Colossians 1 wisdom, please.
Hello, I don't know what this even means. I'm reading words within a sentence that I don't even know what the word means.
But look back on the class you just completed.
Well, I learned how not to do a paper.
Well, you learned how not to. You learned so much about Isaiah. You've learned so much about the what was your paper on the awesomeness of God?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my version.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just tough. I think that we can say things like, "I'm going to be so dependent upon the Lord."
Or we can do hard things.
And in reality, we're not. We're running off our own self-sufficiency.
Of course we are.
And
it's safe and it's comfortable. And it's familiar.
Yeah. And so for you in this season, I think you're on the other side of it. For me in this season, and for lots of people doing things that they haven't done before, it's just you feel so vulnerable.
Oh, I'm not on the other side of it. I've got something sitting on my desk that I've refused to touch for 2 weeks. And there's a deadline this Thursday, which is my husband's birthday. And I won't even I play hooky on mine and his birthdays every year. So I've got something sitting there that is causing me so much anxiety, and the hard part is done. It's a revision. It's kind of like with your paper. And Katie, my paralegal, kept saying, "You really just need to knock this out. It's not that hard, and it's not going anywhere. You've got to do it
for yourself."
But I journaled my feelings about it. I was like, the reason why I don't want to touch it is because I feel like I can't. I feel like I'm failing. I feel like it's too hard. I feel like it's overwhelming because I don't just automatically know. What if I revise it and it's still wrong?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's so scary to me.
It is. It's exposing.
I'm so vulnerable.
Yeah. You're exposing the things that you don't know. And I can't even pronounce a lot of the words that I just read. And so you just feel like, who am I to be trying to do this and act like I know what I'm talking about? Because here's part 2 of a conversation that you and I had was, I think one of the reasons why we just all continue to sit in our shallow swimming pool with the Lord is because it's so comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's so comfortable. And why wouldn't we not want to stay there? I don't have to swim super hard. I don't have to fight for my life. I don't even have to
swim. I can stand up. It's shallow. Yeah, I've conquered it.
Yes. Or I can just kind of lay there and get some sun, and I'm not too hot, but I don't even maybe need a raft.
I can take a nap on the raft.
Yes. It's just so easy. And that's just what we prefer. It's what we prefer. And nobody likes to say to the professor, nobody likes to say to the colleague, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Or what I'm doing. I may or may not be as capable as you believe that I am because I've convinced you that I am, but what if I'm not? Imposter syndrome.
Yes. And I know you all think that I'm smart, and I know that you all have certain opinions and assumptions about me. But right now,
let me debunk them real quick.
Yes, I'm going to highly disappoint you.
But if it's really about God working through us, and sometimes the thing is not even about the thing. It's about the lesson he wants to teach us in the middle of the thing.
Right.
But it's just so interesting. And there's so much that comes up. And something else that I was reminded of is just to notice what emotions come up and what I'm feeling. And the emotion only lasts 45 to 60 seconds.
Right.
But I can attach a thought, a behavior. I can let something ruin my whole day. Or when I feel anxious, that feeling will go away in 30 to 45 to 60 seconds if I just let it.
Well, because something else is going to creep in and take over.
But the queens of beating the dead horse,
yes,
you and I,
yes.
We can just really, really feed that thought. And then my therapist said, try on emotions the way you try on clothes in the fitting room or accessories, and you can take it right back off and say, I'm not wearing that today. I'm going to remember my identity. We've got to go back to who God says we are and what really matters and where do we want our worth to come from. And y'all, I'm going to be preaching this to myself all week long up until that deadline on Thursday.
Yeah.
I need to just knock out my hard thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to ask me if I've just done it already, feel free.
When I have to step into that space of I've got to actually lean in and do it, I can become so paralyzed out of fear.
I'm stuck.
And I'm stuck. And I just literally don't know what to do and will avoid it at all costs.
I brought a file home, and y'all, I will clean out my refrigerator. I'll clean out my closet. I'll go to the grocery store. I'll do every task that would have gotten ignored for 3 years otherwise to not deal with the one file that I need to work on today.
All the people said amen.
But I'm not going to be that person.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it done.
We're going to get it done. Okay, let's conclude with the other kind of very passionate conversation that we had the other day.
We had some passionate conversations.
We had. And usually that passion is fueled from, I'm fired up about something.
And at one point, Fran said, we don't even let the horse get back up before we whop it upside the head again.
I'm just going to beat some things to death. And that little horse is laying there on the ground with one eye open looking at me like, can I get up? Oh, no, sir. I'm not done with you.
We're shooting it with the paintballs.
Okay, here's my thing. I need to know where the people are in their life when it comes to um, how you are how you're growing in your knowledge and your relationship with the Lord and with other people. Because Angela said, as we were kind of talking about this, like back in the day, we called it Sunday school.
I miss Sunday school.
Remember that, y'all? If you're our age, remember that? And it is evolving and changing, just like church is changing and evolving. And if you're old enough, you've seen that. I mean, good grief, if you're my age, you can remember when contemporary worship tried to come in and have its own service.
Oh,
And
they took the organ out
Yeah.
and a revolt happened.
yes,
in churches across the
yes.
nation.
Yeah, everybody lost their minds. And so we've been changing ever since. Everything, how we do everything has changed. And so when I was 31, 32, when I was a young believer, I cut my teeth on God's word through Bible study, through in-depth Bible study, and through a Sunday school class with a teacher.
Were those on campus at your church?
Yes.
There wasn't even a such thing as off campus.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right.
And what size
Going
group?
into somebody's home.
That was unheard of. Maybe a cookout in the summertime.
Right.
But
Right.
not a
Right.
for a church picnic at the park.
That's right. Everything was in the church. And so
What size group, and were they all women?
yeah, well, our Sunday school class was men and women, and I don't remember how many. It was a good size, but I mean, there were probably 15 to 20 couples. I
And they
mean,
just taught the Bible.
just taught the Bible. And
then what about Bible study? What did that look like?
and Bible study, this was women's Bible study, and you're committing to an 8-week Bible study, or maybe longer than that. I don't remember. But it was just, a workbook, and you had homework, and you had discussion, and there was accountability involved in that. And now where I'm scared is that because of a multitude of things, we're busy. Culture is just, our society is so busy that nobody can hardly have time for anything. And we're letting anything and everyone on our phone be our teacher and our leader and our community. And and I could just be talking to myself, y'all.
Well, it kind of feels like it used to be just a given. I'm going to Sunday school, and then I'm going to worship service.
Yeah.
Now it just feels so optional. And it's a double-edged sword. You also have to make it convenient, and you have to make it there's some balance there too. I mean, I'm not bashing the way that it's done. I understand things that are considered, but at the same time, I think it's become real easy to say, well, maybe I'll just sign up another time, or maybe I'll even just maybe I'll just watch church online. I know a lot of people that just don't even go in person anymore.
Right.
And I think that just the awareness is where it used to be, I'm going to be on campus with my people every Sunday for this hour and then the worship hour. Now it just feels like over time, like my kids don't know what that. I mean, they might remember it from when they were little bitty.
Yeah.
But it's just evolved so much. We've lost something in that process that we've got to figure out how to get back to.
Well, and ultimately, what my concern is the lack of Bible literacy,
right,
and community. That and who is Fran investing in, and who is pouring into Fran. Like, just these relationships are so necessary, and they're so needed. And I just miss what was.
And when there's a death, who's showing up with a casserole? Like, are you on somebody's radar?
Right. Yeah, I just think I think that as you are considering the younger generation, we need to all consider, how are they being discipled? How are they growing in God's word? I worry. Listen, hear me say, I am a big fan of a Bible reading plan. But if that plan is the only thing that you're doing, where you're connecting to God's word on a probably very minimal level, and then not being able to discuss it and sit and live in God's word for any amount of time, I just think, well, no wonder we're all just kind of a hot mess. And And like, I just am like, I don't know. I just miss the days of what Beth Moore Bible study are we doing, or what Lisa Turker's Bible study are we doing, or what whatever Bible study are we doing. And it's just, I just miss it. And it concerns me that a generation could be calling themselves being discipled online in
And they
some
don't even know what else it could look like.
right. They're just watching YouTube, or they're watching things on TikTok, or they're watching other people, but they don't have the engagement with real life people.
And then you've got the state of the world being so much crazier than I remember it ever being,
Right.
coupled with the younger generation who is truly hungry to be discipled. I see opportunity. I see a lot of opportunity if you're listening to, I can think of several women I know that are older than me who would just gather young mamas in their home and feed them a meal on nice dishes and just love on them and pour into them. Or, maybe there's an opportunity that God's going to open up to somebody listening just to say, you know what, this does sound scary and hard, but maybe this is where He's calling me to serve in this next
I'd
season.
love to know what y'all are doing, like what that looks like for you. Whether you're
who are your people ahead and behind?
Yeah, and what does that look like? What does Bible study look like? What does serving the younger generation look like?
That's a great question.
I just would be so curious, because I think there's things out there that people are doing and they're a part of, and we're like, oh, that's amazing.
And so hopeful.
Yeah, and so hopeful. So anyway, I'm just curious. This also sounds like we've become the old people.
Do we sound like a Karen?
That we're, well, listen, I'll go, this is a hill I'll die on. I will die. Call me Karen. I will die on the hill of.
I feel sorry for Karens.
I do too. Do you know anybody by the name Karen?
I do, and they're lovely.
I know a couple of people. I'm not super close to them, but yeah.
And it could just as well be a Doris, and then I'd be in trouble.
Who said that was going to be the name?
I don't know, but it's so wrong.
I know, it is so wrong.
If your name is Karen and you're listening, we love you.
Oh,
we
you're the best.
Keep going.
You're the best. You're the best. Okay, as we wrap up, memory verse.
Yes.
We've only got a couple of weeks left in this month. So as you go out and as you live your life, just remember, God did not give you a spirit of fear, but you have been given a spirit of power, love, and sound mind or sound judgment. Go live from that place today.
Amen.
Okay, y'all have a fantastic day. Whew, October, you are flying by. All right, we love y'all. We'll see you next time. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. You know that we want to bring you joy, make you laugh and smile, but also hopefully provide some nuggets of truth for you to consider. We want to encourage you as you go about your everyday life with the Lord. All right, 2 Timothy 1:7. Y'all know this is our October memory verse. This is the NLT version. This is what 2 Timothy 1:7 says. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. All right, you guys, we love you so much. We'll see you next time. Y'all have a fantastic day.